and you can see that the bottom one's gone and the top one is about ready to be broke off. It just kind of disintegrated for some reason. Welcome to Tigner Adventures. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of maintenance on the rig, because no matter what rig you have to do some kind of maintenance, and it's important to keep up on it. And if you look right here, you can see my bushings on my stabilizer bar are disappearing. They're gone. When we very first bought this rig, we didn't have any of those. They broke off and everything. And when I drive down the road, I was driving like this. And I'd have to look out, like 100 feet or 100 yards in front of me, kind of making sure I'm staying straight in the line, because if I look down like this is how I drove. But there was so much play, and it was just, moving around, because what the stabilizer bar does is it balances the rig out so that when you hit ruts and things like that, it doesn't try to follow them or whatever, curve of the road as much. One of the things that we also just barely had done, if you watched our other video from Henderson lineup, is we had, you can look at this video here, they went through and put all new shocks on, stabilizer bars and things like that too. So it rides a lot different than it ever has ridden. It's a really easy to drive vehicle now. But when these bushings wear out on this little bar here, sway bar, then it does tend to want to do, meander just a little bit. So we're going to replace those today. Here they are. What it looks like is just this little guy right here. There's one on top and one on bottom. It's kind of I don't think it's that great of a design, because what it does is puts a lot of pressure on these one way or the other, depending on, especially if you put your jacks up and down, may make it so that it wears these out faster just by tweaking the vehicle back and forth. Some people have issues when they put their jacks down, their windshields pop out, and I guess in my case I have these little bushings that pop out. But in my particular case, I bought these at O'Reilly, and I also bought a set from AutoZone, and I just kind of keep trading them out, and they have a lifetime warranty on both of them. So every time they go bad, I just replace it and then take the other set back to wherever and get a new set, and I carry that with me, so as I travel around, if I start having issues, then I have the parts with me to replace them. This is a 94 F53 frame. So far, unless someone can come up with something else and give me some suggestions, I haven't found anything that replaces this particular idea. On the newer F53 frames, Super Steer made a whole new process, that assembly thing that gets mounted in there that works 100% better than what came from the factory. But they don't have it for this year of a coach. It doesn't go back that far. So because of that, I'm stuck with doing these. And those of you that have older rigs might be stuck doing these too, but they're really simple to do. And we're just gonna get into it and show you how you can actually replace these in about 15 minutes. They're pretty easy, so we're just gonna do that. All right, you can see here that this is my sway bar end link, and you can see that it is, the bottom one's gone and the top one is about ready to be broke off. It just kind of disintegrated for some reason. And if I come back this way, this big bar actually moves up and down, and it actually goes through this bushing here. And if I continue around, then you can see there's another bushing over here. And then if I continue, I have my other end link right there, and you can see both of them are intact. So not sure why the other side fell apart, but when I switched these out, it was this side over here that is all intact now that had fallen apart. So it's kind of weird. But each one of these end links come in their own package, and they come with the two bushings, and then they also come with these two washers. Now you might be able to tell just looking there that this one's got a bigger hole on it than this one, if I put it up, whoops, if I put it to there, you can see that they're not quite the same size holes. The reason for that is that when we take this nut off here, which it also comes with another nut, and so we're going to take that nut off. I usually use the same nut over and over because I've had issues with some of these that the thread doesn't seem to match, so not sure what the deal is with that. But it's a spindle that sticks up there, and the big portion, the one with the biggest hole, this slides all the way through the spindle and creates the bottom piece, and then that sits onto that bottom piece, and then you put the bar back on, and then this will sit on there, and then this top one only goes down to the end of the threaded, and then you just thread the nut all the way down, so then it's just pushing against the whole thing. Now I'm not parked on a perfect level spot, and so you can see that this one's pushing up here quite a bit, so I'm gonna have to put my jack down to kind of balance that out just a little bit, and that'll make it look so it's a little bit easier to get back on when I take that off. So I went ahead and put down my driver's side jack and put it quite a ways up, and as you can tell, that has now taken the pressure off this one side, so we can go ahead and take those nuts off. So you can see that one's got embedded in there, and then we have to do the other side. Okay, this one's still pretty much intact. Now, if I just lift up on this, it just lifts right up out of the way. Then you can go ahead and remove the bottom piece and put it back in, and the same on the other side. So I'm putting the nut with the biggest hole in, and if I don't, then this is what happens. You can see it just goes down part way and just stops right there. It doesn't go all the way down. So it's not like you can do it wrong. Just put the biggest one on first, and then you're going to take your bushing, and you'll notice that the bushing has a little indented or whatever raised spot right there. So the bottom here is the flat part, so that's what goes on the bottom, and then that's on there. And I'm going to do this other side, and then you'll notice that that just slides down. So that's flat on there. We're going to take the other side of the bushing. This flat spot here will be up now. We just slide that on there. We take the little washer with the little hole, put that on, and then put our nut back on there. Okay, that is now on there. Looks nice now. And the other side is all done also. One thing I didn't show you is when you do have that disconnected, you want to take this big bar and see if it moves. Make sure that these bushings are still good. If they're not, they do have a replacement bushing for that also. And at the bottom of this pin goes all the way through, and if I look under the underside here, it comes out right here. So there's a bushing right here too. So if you go to move that pin and it wiggles all around, there's a bushing they replace here also. So 3 different places that you can replace bushings, but the one that seems to keep wearing out is this one over here. Looks brand new now, so we are ready to get back on the road. Just in case you're interested, this is the book I'm using. It's actually from Haynes. It's Ford Pickups and Broncos 1980 through 1996. So this covers everything pretty good. Most of the time it matches fairly close. I will put the ISDN number in the comments below if you're interested in getting it. I just ordered this from O'Reilly and picked that up, and it covers most things pretty good. Well, just like that, we are done. It was a pretty simple job. Now, one thing I do want to point out is the last time I replaced these came from AutoZone, there was an actual packet of grease in there, and I did put grease around these on the outside and then put the washer on there. I thought maybe that helps it slide around a little bit more. But you'll notice right here that this washer is just slid in there. So that may have been what messed these all up. I've never had a grease packet in there before, and the one I got from O'Reilly has never had a grease packet, so it probably was just packaged. And so anyway, it's nice that they have a lifetime warranty on them, so you know, at least you don't have to keep paying for them. So the ones at O'Reilly, I paid like $25 a piece for each one, and the ones at AutoZone, I paid like $10 a piece, and they were black. They wore out in about a month. They wore out really fast, and then they switched me out to these red ones. So I don't know if, you know, they just moved me up to the red ones, and the red ones cost more, you know, because the blue ones, it's a different material, where the other one, the black, is just like rubber, so they didn't last very long. But anyway, these red ones and the blue ones work pretty good, and these went a little faster, and I think it's because of the grease. So with that said, thanks for watching. Again, check out our other videos that we have for fixing your rig and doing work on your rig. This particular setup here will not be done at a dealer, so you would have to take, well, I should say an RV dealer. You would have to take it to like the Ford dealer, because RV shops do not work on anything mechanical on the actual rig. They only work on the things that are pertaining to the actual RV upper portion, basically. So this would have been, you know, a trip into the dealer. The shop rates these days are about $200, anywhere from $180 to $220, I've heard. So if you can just do these things, and it's just two simple nuts to take off and adjust your jacks. However, sometimes I don't even have to. If I'm parked on a nice level place, I don't have to do anything. I just pop them out, pop them in, and I'm done. It's about a 15-minute job. So thanks for watching. Hope to see you down the road somewhere, and if I don't, then maybe my wife Ninette and I will see you on our next video. So thanks, take care.